Here we are. If you're a bird or a squirrel, you'll go mad for that.
Birds have a tendency to build their nests here and breed, so that as the years go by, you will increase your bird population. This is what the idea is. And then you will end up with having a forest, like what they call a forest of having a forest with a silent syndrome.
It takes a willing teacher and a committed student to realize an almost impossible dream, and that is to grow a jungle. James Kingham, who is touted as the guru of jungle trees, is a retired planter with an infectious passion for the jungle trees. He runs a jungle tree nursery that spans 170 hectares in Tanjung Malim, Perak. Jeffrey Cooper is the senior manager of a 10,000-hectare palm oil estate known as United International Enterprise for United Plantations. When the two met about 10 years ago, a teacher-pupil relationship developed naturally. Cooper was curious and wanted to learn all about jungle trees, and James needed someone who has the means and was equally passionate about growing the trees.
I heard about James about 10 years ago, and then after that was able to visit his nursery in Tanjung Malim, Berang area. And then at that time, my exposure to trees and understanding of the names of them and all the species was very limited. With his first batch of tree seedlings he sent to me, I just looked them up in the internet, and that's how you start to know what some of the species are about. You ask more questions, and it's just an introduction on how to get into the whole subject. It was just one thing fed the other, and then James has been so very supportive and towards our objective since then. So here he is. He's the man with all the experience. He's the guru. I'm just a student. Okay.
James was excited about the project, but was also fiercely disappointed when he saw how terribly degraded the soil was.
All the good soil has been taken off here, scraped off. So what you're looking at was a very degraded area where we tried to grow some coconuts. You couldn't, for example. Very poorly drained, just subsoil left. Now look at what we've got around here. These trees are thriving, so you can restore areas like this with these local tree species. And then you've got a whole lot of other food chain trees here, which James was able to give us information on. So the birds will have them for food, and then of course there's the shelter for them. So immediately you have this nesting environment for them. So you've got a good balance. I think of all the trees you've sent us, species you've sent us, which is about 220, 30 tree species, about 70% of them would be food chain trees, and then the rest of them are very big, potentially big timber trees. The Merantis will go 50, 60 meters tall, 70 meters tall one day.
Deep in me, we knew that forest trees, if properly cared for the first 3 years, they can be very adaptable and they will grow. This is what you see now is the effort of Jeffrey, who took pains, a commitment to make sure it grew. And now it's 3 to 4 years past, it's growing. We are not stopping at it. I think Jeffrey has got more than 260 over species. We intend to bring it up to 500 to 600 or over 1,000, and we will try bringing it up and keeping this as a gene bank. A time may come when our main forest has lost its very valuable genetical materials, and it will be here.
There's not very much in them now. So we can reverse the trend by setting aside little strips along riverbanks, which we've got now, and we're already planting some trees there, as opposed to just leaving it, to regenerate naturally.
So whatever new findings I get, I'll make sure Jeffrey has it, because I know this is one man who can keep those species.
We've all got a limited shelf life. We will be retiring one of these days, but fortunately planters seem to be able to go on quite long, relative to other professions. Well, the next generation, it's really up to the company and the directors to push us onto the new generation of planters who can take over from me when it's time for me to hang up my boots,